If you are born on the 2nd of the month, the 11th of the month, or the 20th of the month, you are a birth number 2. And your ruling planet is the moon. You are ruled by the moon. So going into year 1, which is going to be next year, 2026, you guys will have some clashes when it comes to your ego going into year 1. This year, we are still currently in year 9, and we are transitioning from year 9 into year 1. And then 2027, we'll be going into year 2. So things will begin to shift a little bit. Things will smooth out for you guys going into year 2, because you guys are ruled by 2. Your birth number is 2. You're ruled by the moon. But yes, if you are born on the 2nd, the 11th, or the 20th of the month, you are a birth number 2. Now, let me give this disclaimer. Your birth number and your life path number are two different things. Yes, they do coincide with each other because it's numerology, and it also coincides with your natal chart as well. So if you know your natal chart, you know your life path number, and you know your birth number, you look at them and compare them and say, yes, it all coincides. But the difference with your birth number simply is the day that the date that you were born. So again, the 2nd of the month, the 11th of the month, or the 22nd of the month, you are considered a birth number 2, because you're reducing the 11th and the 20th down to a single digit. Okay, now with your life path number, it's a little different, because you're calculating your whole entire birth date and reducing that to a single digit. So for example, my birthday is 08 on 8 1975. You reduce that down to a single digit, and that gives a life path number 3. Now, if you calculate your birthday and it gets down to 11, 22, or 33, you do not reduce that down to a single digit, because those are considered master numbers. And if your birthday reduces down to a master number, then you are a life path 11, 22, or 33. But anything outside of that, you reduce it down to a single digit. Get it? Got it. Now, for people that are birth number 2s, you guys typically don't like to do things. You guys tend to like to do things behind the scenes. You guys tend to like to be in the background. You don't like to be in the forefront when you do things. You guys don't even really like to make decisions or anything like that. You guys don't like to be ruled by your ego, because you guys are ruled by the moon. You guys are ruled by your emotions. So you guys do better behind the scenes than you do in the forefront. In year 1, going into year 1, birth number 2s, you guys may be forced to deal with your ego. Going into year 2, I'm sorry, not year 2, my bad, year 1. We're going into year 1. And the reason why you may be forced to deal with your ego in going into year 1, because ones are ruled by the sun. The sun rules the ego. And 2 ruled by the moon, and moon rules the emotions. So you might be forced to deal with your ego in year 1. You may have to behave in a way that is typically not natural for you, birth number 2s. And that's typically because you guys have a very soft and feminine energy about yourself. You have a very soft, feminine personality. You guys do not like to clash. You guys do not like confrontations. You guys simply like to be left alone. A lot of you guys probably have jobs where you're like the singleton. You show up to work, you do your job, you go home. You don't want nobody asking you a bunch of questions. You don't want nobody talking to you all day. Some of y'all might have jobs where you work from home, or you just have a job where it's just you working by yourself, and it's set up that way. You're set up that way because you love to work be home. You love to work alone, or you have a job or a position where you typically just, or you're where you typically in a background, you're not in a leadership position. If you are in a leadership position, you probably hate it, but you typically don't like to be in a leadership position. Or you might be in a position where you nurture people. You might be some type of nurturer. You might be somebody that is very creative in your work environment, like an artist or a painter or something like that, or even a mechanic, something like that, or doing something at home. You guys typically tend to do well with those type of jobs or careers. But even though you guys don't like to be in arguments, you guys don't like to be in confrontations, birth number twos, unfortunately, you guys might be forced in year one to be in arguments and be in confrontations going into year one. So just keep your head on a swivel, stay grounded, and try not to get too sensitive or too emotional in your year one, because again, that is the year of the sun. That sun is ruled by ego, and with the ego and the moon clashing, yeah, you guys might explode, and I don't want that for you guys. Also, you guys do well with private, with, like I said, working in private or working in small groups or small teams. You guys are not typically fond of working in big groups, big masses, or working with the collective. You guys typically tend to do well behind the scenes. So, like somebody on social media, you know, the ones that always doing stuff on social media, doing TikToks and things like that. You the cameraman. You will you will be the best cameraman for that person that's like a birth number one. A birth number one will thrive doing a TikTok video, doing a dance video, some type of TikTok challenge, but you prefer to be the one. I'm going to be the best cameraman I could be. And you probably make that goddamn TikTok do what it do because you'll get the good angles. You're probably that friend that can get the good angles. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's who y'all are, birth number twos. Also, going into year number one, you guys might have a sudden urge to change your ambiance. That could be your work environment, like you, if you have an office, um things concerning a home. You might have an urge to buy new furniture, paint, redecorate, new furniture, sofa, bed. Some of y'all might even have the urge to start a garden or do something different to your garden, but something about your ambiance is going to change in year one. Oh, and some of y'all might also get a sudden urge to travel a little bit more in year one also. So that could be a good thing for some of y'all. Some of y'all might need to come up out of y'all shell a little bit and travel and, touch grass somewhere. And y'all food habits might change in year one also. You might be urged to try something different in year one. You might be out with friends and they might eat a certain type of food, and you might be like, you know what, I've never tried that. But you know what? I'm a little bold. I'm a little brave today. Let me try it. So don't be surprised if you get the sudden urge to try some shit that you've never tried before, because the moon rules the subconscious. So you might have this knee-jerk reaction to want to just try some shit that you've never tried before. You might like it, you might not like it, but you're going to be bold enough to try it. You also might have the sudden urge to move in year one, birth number twos. Now, if you are in your Jupiter cycle number 4, this will be even more important for you, birth number twos. If you don't know what your Jupiter cycle is, then I'll do a separate video on that for you guys. But yeah, Jupiter cycle 4 people, meaning that you're between the age of 36 and 48, this might really, really, really affect you guys the most. And I pulled a card for you guys. I have the Emperor in reverse. So yeah, this is just confirmation that you guys really do not care to be in a position of leadership. If you are in a position of leadership, you're not happy, you're not doing well, you can care less about it. Somebody else can have that goddamn responsibility. That's really what you're probably saying. But yeah. All right, back to the background. And ain't nothing wrong with that, year twos, all right? Peace out.